Hello Year 4, I hope you are well. I hope you enjoyed all the lovely sunshine last week and you've had a nice weekend this weekend. Thank you to everyone who took part in the Year 3 versus Year 4 Timetable Rockstar Challenge. Year 4, we got an impressive 13,500 points approximately. Unfortunately, Year 3 were on it and they did actually manage to beat us. So this week is the rematch. So come on Year 4, those of you who've not been having a go, just 10-15 minutes can make a huge difference. Let's not let Year 3 win again. Okay, come on Year 4. Now, in terms of this week, I'm just going to put up the timetable. And I'm pleased that people have been watching some of Mrs. Warburton and Mr. Corn's readings of Sky Song. That is still on the YouTube website for you to check out. I'm also pleased that lots of you have been telling me about exciting books that you've been reading. So I'm pleased to hear that people are still participating in their own reading, which is a really nice, relaxing thing to do. In terms of maths next week, we are continuing with bite size. The maths for this week focuses on tenths and hundreds, dividing by 100, dividing by 10, so very much about decimal numbers, and then there's some challenges again on the Friday. As per usual with the maths, there's lots of videos to help you. There's explanations which are short and concise, so please read through those to help you as well. As I say, sometimes more than one video, and then activities for you to have a go at. As we always say, just complete as much as you need to in order to ensure that you feel that you can do that skill and you've got a good grasp of that skill. And more BBC Bite Size are providing games as well. So do scroll down to the final activities. This week there's a game from Wiz Education. So do have a look at that. As I say, there's different games on some of the other days. Now the English this week is all about poetry. Something we haven't spent too much time on since this lockdown period. The first lesson is all about the ingredients that you might want to put into poetry. And it gives you lots of tips on writing poems. The work on the Monday is also based around unpicking a poem called The Villainous, they've called it Villainous Verses, but it's basically Bar, Naughty Sheep. So have a look at reading that. There's some questions to answer after that gets you in the mindset of what poets are doing to make their poetry so successful and interesting. As the week progresses, you're going to look at different sounds in poem, different features of poems, have a go more and more at doing writing with poems. And then come Friday, those of you who love David Walliams will be looking at his book Slime to answer some questions. So some fantastic English. Thank you again to all those people who were sending me pictures of their hotels from the previous week and describing what their hotel looks like. Now, before I talk about the history, the spelling is still using the suffix OUS. Again, thank you to the people that have been essentially doing spelling activities nearly every day. So, and those of you that have been keeping them up, even just now and again, it's been really good to see. Now, the history, we're going to move, although we're going to stay within the Anglo-Saxon period, we're going to focus more now on the next few weeks on the Vikings. I know a few of you did some projects on the Vikings back in the half-term period, but it's certainly a very, very exciting area. On the Monday, you are going to be finding out things about the Vikings and then constructing a timeline. There's various information about where the Vikings came from. As I said, it moves on to a timeline, and you've got key events. Now, there is a sheet where you can then create your own timeline. There's different levels to work at, so have a look and see which one would be more interesting for you. Some, for example, require you to input some of the information that you've learned from the PowerPoint yourself. Some require you to simply just have to order them and recall some of the events. If you prefer to draw your own timeline or create one somehow, then that's a very exciting thing that you could do as well. Come Wednesday, I'd like you to produce a Viking poster where you use the information from the PowerPoint to tell us where the Vikings came from, do a picture of a Viking, and find out some other facts as well. And you could maybe use Google to help you. We all know that if we was to search information about the Vikings, if you say information about the Vikings for kids, then you get websites that are much more accessible. Now, we've not had much opportunity to do any religious education in the lockdown period so far. One unit that we have missed in the summer term is about Judaism and about a period known as Passover. And there's some videos here about Passover. It talks about the story of Passover. You can click on the symbols to find out what they mean, and then eventually actually going on to find out about something called the Seder plate. It's a very easy website to have a look at. Doesn't actually need to invest in that much time, but it gives you an awareness of a different religion. So try and have a look at that for, maybe just sort of 15-20 minutes would be very useful. French is moving on to clothes. There's the usual links to the songs. There's also another link to another feature of music. Joe Wicks this week is dressed up as Spider-Man. Thank you to those of you that have said you've been enjoying doing Joe Wicks still. And finally, something I really hope you have a go at is the upside down glass of water trick. I would advise doing this in the kitchen or outdoors, not in your bedrooms where mums and dads are going to not be too impressed if you spill any water. But my challenge to all of you in Year 4 is, can you turn a glass upside down and the water not fall out? There's a thought for you. I'm going to give a huge shout out to a few people in Peacock. I want to say everyone who's been emailing me, thank you very much. But I have to say in particular this week, it's been lovely to hear from Evelyn and from Abby and Evie and Charlie and Josh. We've had all manner of things coming through from Charlie with a fantastic project on bikes, Josh with his project on elephants, to some lovely collage from Abby and Evie, who I know is spending a lot of time with her puppy at the moment, did a lovely project on dogs. So can't wait to see your things on the Vikings and other things this week, and have a fantastic week. See you soon, Year 4.